Do you think what you see in the mirror is the same as what other people see in the mirror? Today, we will be talking to two besties who will be discussing what she sees versus what I see. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to Ones and Rabbits after a bit of a hiatus. Hi Gail, and we have a special guest today. How are you
Yes.
both?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? See,
I'm
who is
good.
my best friend, by the way? Yes. She's acting shy right now, but I promise you, she's not a shy person. She's acting coy. More, yeah, coy is a better word. But I promise you, she is not a coy person.
She's coy now.
Yes.
How are you both?
I mean, life, right? There's this accident. Is a plane accident that just happened in Ghana, and the Minister of
Oh yeah,
Defense
I
is
saw.
actually dead, and I think the environmental minister as well. And there are so many conspiracy theories going around. I'm like, but yeah, that's what's going on in Ghana. What's going on in Cambodia? How? What's the tea with the war with Thailand? What's happening?
Right? It's 2025. Why are you wars are so 1600? Why is everyone still doing wars? Honestly. But yeah, there's some sort of conflict between Cambodia and Thailand right now. And I think the one thing that I am most frustrated about is the slew of misinformation from both sides. Actually, I'm gonna get crucified for saying not so favorable things about Cambodia, but I feel like the hate, the vitriol, the misinformation, it really comes from both sides, so it kind of escalates the conflict even more. Because you know what, why can't I know this is gonna sound so stupidly simplistic, but why can't we get along?
Right.
Honestly, it's not a Cambodian versus Thailand conflict that we should be going on right now. It's all of us versus the billionaires. They're the ones ruining the world, ruining the planet. We should not be fighting each other. We're on the same boat. Come on. But yeah, that's my
People
grief.
don't see it that way. Anyway, see what's happening in Scotland.
Nothing interesting. It's supposed to be summer, but then we had a storm recently, so it's raining every day.
Yeah,
It rains today, it'll rain tomorrow, it'll rain every day. So it's just the rain. Nothing interesting.
I always say the UK weather has depression issues because it switches up so fast. It's crazy.
I mean, Gail, why else do you think they went around and colonized half of the world? Because they couldn't
Right.
stand their own weather, right? They're like, we need some sun. We're gonna go colonize India for some sun.
That's true. That's true.
All right, wow, enough chit chat. Let's get into the topic because I was told that somebody is a yapper. So let's get into our topic today. So we're gonna be talking about both of your perspectives of each other, whether it's accurate, well, basically just get into the minds of two gorgeous besties and how they feel about themselves and about each other. So my first question to you is, both of you, you can decide whichever one you want to answer first. What were some of the first comments you remember getting about your body as a child or as a teen?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think for me, I was a hospital baby, so I
Gail, we're all hospital babies.
Exactly.
no, I mean, like I was very much like in and out of the hospital, like when I was
Ah,
young.
okay.
Yes, so I grew up very skinny. I don't think they knew what was wrong with me, but I remember one thing my mom always says that at some point there was one day that she was bathing me. She thought I was dead because I stopped breathing, and so she left me and she started wailing because she really thought I was dead. So I grew up very skinny, extremely skinny for my age, and even up until um 13, 14, when people were getting like people had gotten their periods, people had started getting boobs, like, even if there's not like a lot, there's like dots or something. I was flat chested, crazy flat chested. So I used to get laughed at a lot, and I had thick lips, I had big eyes, I had like my head, everything on like this part just looked like it was bigger than my actual body. Cause skinny legs, skinny hands, no boobs, nothing. So I used to get laughed at a lot for being skinny, for being like the small person and all that. It was not a good experience. And I remember when I hit my teens, around just after 14, I gained crazy adolescent weight. And then the sexual comments started coming. I would be walking with my mom, and then, like, an older man would be, "Oh, this your child. She's very beautiful. I'm going to marry
Mm.
her." And,
Oh.
yeah, exactly. I started getting those comments, and it was very weird for me because it was very drastic. My weight gain from like being skinny and being laughed at to like my weight gain, it was crazy. I gained crazy with my cows were big. I literally I was like a bread put in water. Literally, I bloated like out of nowhere. So yeah, there's been a lot of body shaming, but the very first comments were about how skinny I look, and I was one of the boys. Like, that's how people, like the people in my class, and they used to count me as one of the boys because I could do literally anything the boys are doing. Because I there was nothing for me to be worried about. See, what about you?
Mm-hmm.
I think my story is almost similar to Gil's because I mean I grew up flat chested. I'm still flat chested, but then again I grew up
My
flat
baby,
chested.
you're not flat chested. I can hold your
I am.
boobs.
I don't think you are either.
I am. I literally am. But yeah, so I also faced like the same comments. Like I did not get my period at like an early age. I got it at like secondary school, so I was still like facing the same issues. And the main point was like I was really tall, and then like at that time it was being treated as a flaw. So it was like I don't know, like several people used to say, "Oh, you're too tall to be a girl. You're too tall to be this. You're flat chested. You're just like a man." Because like then I was flat chested, I had no curves, and then I was tall. So it was just like a combination of all those three things that made me feel insecure about how I looked. And then they used to laugh at my head. So
Mm-hmm.
I grew up thinking my head was extremely big. Come to think it was never big. So I don't know, maybe people just hated me. But
Yeah, I feel like a lot of women grow up having been told certain things about their bodies from a very young age. I have also been told from as young as I can remember by my own dad, out of all people, that I was as skinny as a tree frog. That's the word that he liked to use a lot. He said that I looked like a tree frog. And he would say that to my mom in like a blamey kind of way. He would say, "You don't know how to raise your daughter. Look at her. She looks so skinny. She's like a tree frog." You know how they say about your parent being your first bully?
Yes.
That was my case. So he was my first bully. And then I remember when I got older, 17, 18, he actually said to me, "You look pretty. You could enter a beauty pageant if your lips weren't so wide, if your mouth wasn't so big." And I was like, "Dad, you did not, inside thoughts, you
to
did
say
not
it
have to
out
say
loud,
that."
yeah.
And exactly. So you kind of remember that because even over a decade later, I still remember all of those things. And being online, I've also been told a lot of things. I've been told that I was as fat as a pig, that I was flat chested, So many things. I know people online. That's the grief of being a woman publicly online. People have everything to say about your body. All right, second question. What beauty standards did you internalize growing up? We
You
don't have
go.
a lot of time, so I know that
See,
this question can be like an hour.
yes.
To me, I internalized being feminine was like meant that you had to be petite, you had to be curvy, and like have like the right features, and then probably soft spoken as well. Because growing up, I felt like I was very outspoken, so it wasn't something people would say it's like of a good woman or of a nice woman or of a lady, let me put it in that way. So if you weren't like all of those things, then somehow you were less than like a woman. So it was just insane to me. I was like trying so hard to try to fit into that box, but then I realized that it wasn't who I was, and it was never going to be like it. I was never going to be petite. I was never going to be like anything outside of what I actually was. And then I had to like later on realize that like femininity is not about like hitting some checklists or whatsoever. And it was just being who you are, exactly.
Yeah, I think for me, I resonate like so much with not being soft spoken, because a lot of times people tell me that I'm speaking loud. I think at some point I actually felt or thought like I probably have a hearing issue, because my tone, a lot of times I don't realize my tone is as loud as it is. And I don't know, maybe I really do have a hearing issue, because a lot of times I also do pardon and ha and can you repeat yourself. So just maybe I do have a hearing like issue. But I resonate a lot with being soft spoken, because I am so not soft spoken. I'm so far from soft spoken that you will not even put me in the middle of people who are like feminine enough or whatever. And I think something that like really fueled my body dysmorphia is like society's perception of how like a woman should look like physically, how like your proportions, your body proportions should be like. And unfortunately, that's still something I'm still struggling with. There are a lot of times I can go like days without looking at myself, like my naked body in the mirror, because like I'm internalizing all these things that I feel like I don't look good enough. My stomach is not flat enough. My waist is not slim enough, and my hips are not wide enough. And like, but it's just so many things. And yeah, I'm very sad to say that it's something I'm still working on. I internalized this like so much growing up that I've still not been able to get away from. So yeah.
I want to give a little bit of a different perspective. More so, it's colonization. Preface this by saying that. So Cambodia was colonized by France for over 100 years, and because of that, there lives this whole Anglo-Saxon kind of beauty standard where people think that looking white, which basically means certain type of nose, like slim, angular or high bridge nose, or having certain eye colors, would be the epitome of beauty standard, right? Not having dark hair, because everyone has dark hair, so maybe blonde hair or any lighter color hair, those would be the beauty standards. So I also internalized that growing up by one, growing up in an environment where people are so influenced by Anglo-Saxon kind of beauty standard, to the point where people would say that if you have a mixed baby, if you are a local person, a Cambodian woman, and if you have a baby with a white person, that baby is gonna definitely be so much more beautiful because it has that white genes. Shout out to Sydney Sweetney, white
My
genes
jeans.
in it. So yeah, so that's gonna be more beautiful somehow. So growing up, I consumed a lot of pop culture where I watched Disney Channel, America's Next Top Model, all of that. And then at one point, I started thinking that I don't like this. Because I don't see myself in TV. I don't see people who look like me on television. I start to think that, oh, I need to have blonde hair. I need to have blue eyes. I need to have those white nose. I have to have certain type of lips for me to qualify as beautiful because I don't see myself out there. And it took me so long to just learn to accept not just who I am, but my race, but my ethnicity as well as a woman of color. It's a lot of unlearning.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to white people for colonizing and for ruining beauty standards everywhere. Okay, cool. Next question. I want you both to tell each other what stands out when you look at the other person. Now, it could be physical, emotional, anything, and I want the other person to tell you if they agree with it.
Go ahead.
This feels
We'll take
like
turns.
an emotional session. Okay, I'll go first. See, my gorgeous girl. I know, like, I tell you a lot, but like when I look at you, I see someone who is gorgeous. Like, I feel like you could be used as a beauty standard because there's literally like nothing. I'm so serious. Don't laugh. There's literally like nothing about you I look at and don't go like, oh my god, she's beautiful. Like, and I like from the very first time I saw you, that was my first thought. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. I love your height. I love your lips. I love your pecky boobs. But I really, really love your ass. Because it's fat and I love fat asses. I don't know if we can put this part out there, but like but anyway, I'm laughing to max my nervousness, but I'm very serious. When I look at you, I think you are beautiful. You are one of the most kindest, most generous person I've ever known, and you uplift the people in your life like so much. I don't think, like, since I've known you, I've never heard you like not try to do something for any of the people like you're friends with. And sometimes when I look back at my life, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how I was living without you. Like, because you're like a light, like literally, like. And I love all those things about you because it makes it so easy to love you, and it makes it so easy to also like give you like 100% of myself.
All right. Do you agree? See?
Do you agree with me?
I don't know. I to some extent, yes. But
Okay, so what don't you agree with? Wait, let's unpack that. What don't you agree with?
it's not like I don't agree. Like, I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
say it, but like it's your perception, and that's great. But regardless of however you see me, definitely, however I see myself will be different. But then I'll try to like get to a point where I can see myself for how you see me.
It's your turn.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
really like your
It's your
smile.
turn.
It's like really beautiful, and it's like very.
Oh god, Gail's gonna choke.
I think the only reason why I spoke to Gail was because she was pretty. So I think you are really beautiful. I think you're an amazing person, and I like how emotionally mature you are. I think before meeting you, I wasn't as emotionally mature or like as I am currently, but then you've taught me how to be more expressive about how I feel. Because growing up, I wasn't born into a household that was like very expressive about how they feel about things. So I used to suppress my emotions. Like I definitely wouldn't call my mom and say I love you. But then since we've since we become friends, it's more easier for me to express how I feel to people I love. And I love that. And I think you are really smart because you and Kat are really smart to pull off this podcast. Because I would never. And I think you're really confident, and that's one thing I really like about you, how confident you are in what you think about and in what you believe in and how you put it out there. It's something I really admire because I could never. But yeah. I'm really sweating because
Gail?
I'm so nervous. So yeah.
Do you agree, Gail?
To an extent as well, because
To what extent?
I feel like you know how I feel about my smile. That's even why you put that one first.
Exactly.
Because yes, it's just. Kat, I don't know if you've noticed, but you realize whenever I'm laughing, I put my hand. I don't know. I've been laughed at by someone before, like about like my gum and how like all my teeth show when I laugh, and I think I downplayed how I felt because that person was my friend, and they did it with another person. And so like it really stuck with me, and so now whenever I'm laughing I'm like I have to cover my mouth. So it was really nice that you pointed that out, but I don't think I have a nice mouth.
I do, though.
Exactly.
I do think you have a beautiful smile. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I do.
You better not cry.
Aw. But honestly, I do think so as well.
I'm fine. Thank you.
What else did you agree with?
I mean everything else besides the smile, because but I'm 50-50 on the confidence, cause but you really do think so, and I think you've mentioned it before, but I don't. I feel like so the emotional maturity thing. I just feel like when you caught up with me, you've actually like bypassed me, because now you actually handle like a lot of things better than I even do. So even though I sort of like made it easy for you, because like I'm literally crying over here, like I'll express my feelings over literally everything. Even when you don't want to talk about it, I want to talk about it. That's why like it made you feel that comfortable. But I think now you are even like past me, and I see your growth. I love it, and yeah, here for the continuous growth. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. I love that moment. I love all the female love energy in the 3 different rooms. And the one virtual Discord room right now. Now that we were talking about confidence, I do have the other question, which is what are some of the ways in which you hide or shrink or perform confidence around other people? Cynthia, you go first.
I think even when it came to like I know I talk about this a lot, but being tall as a woman growing up was actually really difficult. So I literally had to shrink myself every time around shorter people, to the extent that I started slouching because I would want to fit in. So I had to sort of like bend or crouch when I'm speaking to shorter people so that I wouldn't feel too tall or out of place. And I also never used to wear heels because I hated how taller it made me feel. And I just didn't like that. I just didn't like being tall. So I was constantly like shrinking myself, even when it comes to, like, events. And if I know that it's going to be a standing thing, I would never want to go because I do not want to stand, and all my friends are just like short, petite, beautiful, and I'm just like the tall one out. And I think it's also because people used to point it out so much back home that it made me hate being tall. Whereas when I moved, it's like everyone is tall. So I feel more comfortable here than I felt back home because I feel like normal for once in my life, and I don't have to feel like I'm the tallest in the room. And also, speaking about being outspoken, just because I didn't want to come off as too outspoken, I try to not speak a lot. So even currently, I struggle with public speaking. I get really nervous and I have to speak to like a stranger. It could be a friend of a friend, but I still get really nervous about it because I've shrunk myself so much that I need to unlearn how to do all those things. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I have something to say about the tall thing. So the jokey part of it is that there are two Netflix movies about
Tall.
about
Yeah.
a woman being tall
Yes.
called Tall Girl, right? One and two. So obviously there's something to be celebrated about that. On another note, who are tall, which women are tall? Giselle, Heidi Klum, all those wonderful and beautiful women, they're tall. And the third one, I have a take. I think the whole beauty standard of trying to literally put down tall women was created by men because they feel
Sure,
insecure about their own
exactly.
height. Because they feel like if a woman is taller than them, somehow it takes away their masculinity. So they created this whole beauty standard thing where they have to shame
Women,
tall women
exactly.
in order for them to feel tall, figuratively, because they cannot be tall literally. So again, going back to the patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, short kings are great, and I love it when men are shorter than their partner, but then they have no insecurity about that. They celebrate their partner. They don't feel like they have to be taller than her in any way, and I love that about short kings.
Yeah.
All right, Gail, your turn.
Yeah. Just for context, C is like 6'1", and in Ghana, it's, I think the average height will probably be like 5'8" for a lot of men. So there were a lot of times we would go out and men, it was always men. Like a girl never walked up to us and be like, "Oh my God, how tall are you?" And some of them like literally wanted to do like height Olympics. Like they'll come stand beside
Oh my
her.
God.
Oh, like, oh, you're taller than me. Oh no, no way. I should be taller than you. I'm taller than you. Like, is this like nigga? I don't even know you. I don't
And I
fucking
don't
care.
care. Exactly.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, back to me. I think one way in which I perform confidence is sorry, I
Okay,
lost.
what does that mean for audio listeners?
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think like C hypes me I up like a lot, and since we became close, you to Kat, like you see my pictures and you tell me like I'm so sexy, I'm so hot, and like I don't feel it, like I don't feel it. But like the more like I hear the people close to me and the people who I feel like their words matter to me, then I feel like I'm very performative about my body, like, and yeah, like I'm very, yeah, I love my body, and like I don't, like in my head I'm like, oh my God, like I'm always doing like, how can I get rid of this, how can I get rid of this, how can I change this? So yeah, I think for me that's definitely like my one thing. I used to like Cynthia. I used to have an issue with like being outspoken. I remember I lived in a house where I was prompted that I talk too loud. Like I was actually asked, what are the things I think I should change about myself? and that came up, like how I talk. And so I went through like a whole phase where I was trying to, like, talk like a lot of girls do, like be very
Mm-hmm.
soft and lower my tone. And it was just very stressful because honestly this is how I talk, and that's just how I'm going to talk. And yeah, I sort of got rid of. But again, I'm very performative about how I feel about my body and how I look, how people perceive me. And I actually think a lot of my social anxiety comes from that. Like, because sometimes in my head I do want to talk to people, I do want to get to know people, I want to go to new places and meet new people. But like, I'm always worried when they see me, like what is going to be like their first perception about my body. How are they, like, I'm always in my head about my body. It's so annoying, god. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I understand. I want to say that if this was, I don't know, second century BC or whatever, I would imagine that there would be paintings and sculptures of both of you, and it would be titled like the epitome of womanhood, not just because of how you look, not just because of how beautiful both of you are, but womanhood as a whole, encompassing the gentleness, but also the resilience and also the strength and also the struggles and everything that you have gone through, that would make this whole sculpture something to be studied like years and centuries later. That's how I would feel, honestly.
Thank you.
Okay. I think this is the last, well, second to last question. Has the other person done or said anything that helped shift your body perception? All right.
You.
See.
No, you go.
At least you answered the last one first.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think me. So yeah, even though I'm always going on about how, like, I don't like my body. And I think one person that has really like helped me is like C, because like she will always gas me up. Like, she will always gas me up. Like, unless the outfit I'm wearing is like really shit, then I know that yeah, I need to take this off. Cause I always joke that she's my stylist, and yeah, definitely. But like, she will always, so a lot of times when I wear something and I'm feeling low, I know that like I'm just in my head. Like, I really just need to send a video to see. And once she sees it, it just like uplifts me, because the things she will say, like the words she will say. So even though I still say that I have a long way to go about like how my body positivity issues and all that, I think she's definitely like, every single time when she sees my picture, when she sees my video, the way she talks about me, the way like she uplifts me, it's amazing. It definitely does something to my ego. Yeah. Your
Oh,
turn. Yes.
I agree. I agree. It's always nice to hear from someone you hold in high esteem how, like, about your body, like how they feel about your body. So I don't know. To me, it's nice to hear, but usually I don't fully like to. I don't know how to explain it, but like, even though it's nice to hear validation from other people, I I do not like to let it get to my head too much, because I feel like on the day where I don't hear it, then suddenly I don't like what I see. So it's great to hear, but
Avoidance.
then again, yeah.
I feel like I love the dynamic between both of you, and I feel like a lot more women should be complementing each other, should be bringing out all the best sides in us, because not just women that know each other, because I have had the experience of complementing women, strangers that I have met, whether it's in the bathroom, whether it's at the checkout counter, anything. And I always loved how the face would just light up,
Yes.
every time that you just say, it can be something as simple as I love your earrings, or I love your tattoo, or I love your shirt, I love your blush, I love your lips, things like that. It just completely changes their entire day. I remember, and I did not do this intentionally, by the way. So I was in New Zealand at the time, and I was at the ticket counter. I was waiting to get my plane tickets, and I looked at the woman there, and I thought that she had this beautiful tattoo. So I said, I love your tattoo so much. It's so beautiful. So she thanked me, and a few minutes later, she was like, I'm gonna give you a good seat. I'm gonna give you the aisle seat so that it's easier for you to sleep and also to get out. And I was like, oh, thank you for that. I did not compliment you to get good seat. But things like that, it sometimes just being nice to other people, even strangers, and don't expect anything in return, by the way, it can really change people's day. And I know what it feels like to have strangers complimenting me, and I feel like we need to do more of that. Yeah. And I think that men should also do this to each other, not to women, to each other, because I have this friend, gay. I have this friend. He's gay, but he was meeting me at this restaurant, and then he saw the wait staff, who's also a male, and he said, "Oh, he's cute. Can you tell him that he's cute?" Because he's not from Cambodia, so he asked me, "Can you tell him that he's cute?" And I told him that, and the waiting staff his face lit up, and then my friend went on the conversation without being creepy about it, and then we just continued talking. There was no flirtation, there was nothing going on, just a very innocent compliment. And I think it's kind of like how a lot of men say that they have never received flowers. So I would imagine it as something like that. Gail, you don't look you look tired of talking about men and their compliments.
I feel like a lot. Okay, again, talking from like perspective of like Ghana, I feel like a lot of the guys have internalized homophobia. So a guy complimenting a guy, that's going to set like crazy alarm bells, and he'll probably be tagged whether they are gay or not. People just think of, oh, that's so gay. Like it's literally like a saying,
Yeah.
like, ew, that's so gay. Like, why would you talk to me like that? With their lingos, like with their male lingos and like all those things. So I don't like. I'm sorry, but a lot of men have like the emotional maturity of like what, like peas, like like very little. They are not going to have the range to unpack that. And another man can just give me a compliment that, oh, you look good, oh, your outfit looks good. They are not just going to take it like that. It's going to be a whole blown out thing. So yeah, if you're my brother, me, I'll not advise you to compliment another man. Leave them alone.
No, but I think we should normalize that. You know what I mean? I know that there's a lot of homophobia toxicity going on, not just in Ghana but everywhere. Here, even here, men don't do that as well. But I think men should normalize that. And I don't know, if you're a guy and you're confident enough in your masculinity, you don't feel. I don't know, you don't go sniff Andrew Tate's chair or something like that. You should try that.
Sniff and taste chair is crazy.
Yeah. So it has happened. But anyway, last question. How can we reframe bad body days? Well,
So for me,
I
it
think-
starts with reminding. Okay, it just starts with
You
reminding
go.
myself that. Yeah, I was going. That's it for me. It starts with reminding myself that however I feel about my body in the moment, it's not like the full truth of who I am. It's always just like a feeling. Because sometimes you wake up in the morning and you feel like an absolute 10, and the next day you feel like an absolute 2. So that like confirms that it's just not how your body is. It's just how you are feeling in the moment. And I get that these days social media doesn't help either, because you go on TikTok, you see someone so slender or someone with like a very small rib cage, and you're wondering to yourself like, how do I get a small rib cage? Meanwhile, you know your rib cage is wide, and there's nothing you can do about that. So like there are just so many versions of people online. So I try not to take that as a failure of what my body is. So just because someone looks in a certain way, it's not a failure of the version of the body I have currently. So I've just like learned to remind myself that it's okay to look how I look, and there are several people in this world who also have the same body as me, and then they are living fulfilling life, flourishing life. So I don't know why I should feel sad and uncomfortable about how I look. So it's just about learning to love your body, even on days where you don't feel like 100%. And yeah, basically, you're just unique however you look, and it is not something to fix, it is just something to honor. That's how I just see it.
Gail?
I think so. The last time I watched this video, it was a lady. I because I have like gym stuff on my TikTok. I get like a lot of gym people coming on my page as well. So I saw this video of a lady, and she was talking about how she's been working out for like so long, and she eats clean and all that, and she works on her abs a lot, but she's never seen abs. And her partner telling her that men men find it easy to get abs like real quick because what's the things in their body is not like protecting certain things as opposed to like a woman. Like you have the uterus, you have like there's a lot of things going on in here. Do you get it? And sometimes you need the fat there, you need whatever is there to protect you. So I think for me, one thing I'm learning is that my body is shaped the way it is for a reason. Like, I don't need to look like another person. If, like, as long as I feel good, as long as I feel okay, as long as I don't feel sick, like, I'm perfectly okay the way I am. And that's one thing, like, I'm really trying to focus on. And another thing is that I am not the problem. My body is not the actual problem. Me not being an hourglass shape or a pear shape or whatever is not the problem. It's a system that is the problem. It's a system that has set up beauty standards for like women to follow. It's a system that says that you need to look a certain way to receive a certain form of love, or like for people to just talk or treat you a certain way. That's the problem. And I am never going to be the problem. My body is never going to be the problem. It's doing exactly what it should do for me, and that should be enough.
I love that. I have one last thing to add as well. So actually two. So one would be, imagine that imagine if you were having your last moment right now. If this was your last moment on earth, are you going to wish that you had spent more time being insecure about your body? Do you wish that you would have spent more time not wearing the outfit that you would want to wear? The second one is, it reminds me of something that my mom has said to me. And she said to me that we went shopping together, and she said that the dress that I picked was really pretty. And then she said, she asked me if I tried it on. I said, yes, I did. It fit and I liked it. And she said, yeah, when I looked at it, I thought that it would fit you as well. And she proceeded to tell me that she had the same style as me. She liked similar things to me, but not as sexy. That's what she said. But then she said that because she stayed home all the time, she thought she kept buying them, but she never felt like she had the right occasion to be wearing them. So she kept buying them, kept putting it in her closet, and then she got married, and then she had me. But the clothes, the dresses, all of those beautiful things that she wanted to wear, she never got to wear them because she felt like she wasn't the it didn't fit her, or she felt like it wasn't the right occasion, she wasn't going out to somewhere fancy enough. So at the end of the day, years passed and she never got to wear them. So I don't want I don't want people to think that they have to be this perfect body to wear that dress that they buy. Maybe if I weigh a certain number, this arbitrary number, I will wear that dress. If I look a certain way, then I will wear that dress that I love so much, that I want to wear so much. Don't think about it like that, because you have this body the way that it looks right now only for a certain limited amount of time. Eventually we all grow old. If we're lucky enough, if we are fortunate enough, if we have the privilege to grow old, we will grow old, and we won't have this body anymore. So are you gonna wish that you had spent more time wearing the bikini that you wanted to wear? Are you gonna wish that you had spent more time not putting on that beautiful dress just because your body didn't look the right way? So yeah, think about it like that. Do you want to regret not living life? Not looking fabulous. Anyway, any final words to add from both of you?
Just, you know, love yourself. Basically, I know like it can be hard a lot of days actually, but on the good days, just relish in it and know that you are perfect. Not perfect. Perfection is overrated. But like you are okay, you are great, like you are doing amazing just the way you are, even on the like really, really bad days. Like it's okay, it's whatever. It's just a body, like at the end of the day. Like
Yeah. It serves a purpose, and that purpose is not to be looked at. Cynthia? Last word?
Always remember you're the shit. That's what I always tell Gil, that at the end of the day, you're still the shit. So remember that always.
All right. Thank you both so much for joining Wands and Rabbits. And for those of you watching / listening, if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe and like and click the notification, or follow us on all podcast apps to hear more of these shows, more of these episodes, I guess. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Take care.
bye.